Tu bukan Ain ke?
Apa ni? Tak faham lah. Macam salah je. Macam mana nak buat ni?
Ain, kenapa ni? Nampak stres je, okey tak?
Okey tu, aku tak faham langsung apa lecturer tu ajar tadi.
Alah, senang je. Inilah ML.
ML? Mobile Legend ke?
Bukanlah, ML tu bukan Mobile Legends, tapi ML tu machine learning. Mari tunjukkan kat you.
So, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a field of artificial intelligence that allows computer systems to learn from data and improve over time without being explicitly programmed. There are 4 types of machine learning. First one is supervised machine learning. This type of machine learning involves supervision where machines are trained based on labeled datasets and make prediction based on the provided training. The second type is unsupervised machine learning. The machine is trained using an unlabeled datasets and make prediction without any supervisions. The third machine learning is semi-supervised machine learning. This technique uses the combination of labeled and unlabeled data to train its algorithm. And lastly, reinforcement learning. This is a feedback-based process. This means the AI component takes stock of its surrounding by the hit and trial method, takes action, learn from experience and improve the performance. So how does the machine learning works? First, we begin with data collection. We need a large amount of relevant information so the system can learn. It is important that the data is clean, accurate, and related to the problem. This data can be images, text, and numbers. The next step is data processing. Raw data is often messy, which means it may contain errors, missing values, or duplicates. So we need to clean and organize it. We also need to make sure the data is in usable format for the machine learning model. Once the data is ready, we move to training the model. This is where the machine learning algorithm is given the data and starts to find patterns and rules within it. The more quality data we provide, the better the model can learn. And lastly, after training, we need to test the model to see how well it performs. We use new data that the model has not seen before. This helps us check if it can make the right predictions. We measure things like accuracy and reliability to know if the model is ready. Now that we've seen how machine learning works step by step, let's look at something more exciting. How does it work in our everyday lives? There are a few applications of machine learning. The first one is in healthcare. Machine learning is used in medical imaging diagnosing. Large amount of data sets are collected and pre-processed to ensure consistency before training. The model learns features that distinguish normal from pathological findings and can analyze new images to generate diagnostic predictions. The second one is engineering. In civil engineering, structural health monitoring uses machine learning to assess the safety of infrastructure such as buildings or bridges. Lastly, in finance, fraud detection in financial transactions using machine learning involves training models on historical data that recognize patterns that distinguish legitimate from fraudulent activity.
Next, let's take a look at pros and cons of machine learning. So let's start with the pros. The first one is automation of repetitive tasks. One of the biggest advantages of ML is that it can take over boring and time-consuming jobs. For example, your email inbox can automatically separate important messages from spam. Not only that, in factories, machine learning system can sort fruits and food items to ensure only good quality ones reach customer. And of course, there is ChatGPT, which can generate essay, translation, and summaries in seconds, which is saving us hours of work to do. Secondly, ML also improves decision making. Machine learning can process massive amounts of information much faster than human. So, businesses always rely on this to predict sales, manage inventory, and even decide which product to recommend. That's why when you scroll on Netflix or TikTok, the suggestion always seems spot on because ML has studied your past choices. And the third pro is pattern recognition. ML is excellent at spotting hidden patterns. For example, in medicine, it can analyze X-ray or MRI scan to detect disease earlier. In everyday life, it's used for facial recognition to unlock our phones, or voice recognition when we tell Siri or Google Assistant to play a song. Now, let's moving on to the cons. Firstly, the cons is regarding the data privacy and security. The power of ML comes from data, and that often means our personal data. This raises serious privacy concern. If the data is not protected, it can be exposed to hackers. For instance, even big companies like McDonald's have experienced data breaches. The high cost and resources required is also one of the cons of machine learning. Setting up machine learning system is not cheap, and it needs powerful computers, a skilled professional, and massive amount of clean and organized data. In Malaysia, companies often need to invest between 500,000 and 2 million just to get started. The third con is ethical and bias concern. Machine learning is only as fair as the data is trained on. If the data is biased, the result will also be biased. For example, hiring a system might unfairly favor certain group while rejecting the others. This can create discrimination. The last one is complexity and interpretability. So many ML systems, especially deep learning models, are like black boxes. They produce accurate results, but the reasoning behind those results is hidden or too complicated to explain. For example, if a bank uses ML to approve or reject loans, customer might not understand why they were rejected. This lack of transparency makes it hard to build trust.
I would like to share about the case study of machine learning in education. Education faces challenges like large student numbers, limited teacher time, and different student abilities. Although schools collect a lot of data like attendance and test results, much of it is underused. Machine learning, ML, can analyze this data to predict student performance, recommend resources, and even automate grading, making education more adaptive and efficient. Here are the approaches. This case study looks at ML for predicting student performance. The process has 4 steps. First, data collection, gathering student records such as demographics, attendance, and quiz scores. Second, feature selection, choosing relevant factors like study habits or participation. Third, model selection, using models like decision trees, random forests, or neural networks. Fourth, training and testing, splitting data to test accuracy with metrics such as precision and F1 score. Above here is an example table of data set examination in school. The workflow includes, or the process, first, pre-processing, cleaning missing data and encoding categories. Second, training using past outcomes, pass or fail. Third, prediction, forecasting new outcomes, example given a student having 70% chance of failing math. Fourth, intervention, teachers use predictions to provide support. Here are the benefits of ML in education. First, ML helps to predict student performance using models like random forest, SVM, and decision trees. Second, ML achieves good accuracy, around 70 and to 75% in exam result prediction. Third, ML helps to prevent effective in studies, especially ensemble methods. The following chart is the chart of comparison of models. Here we know that neural network has the highest accuracy and F1 score. However, there are limitations in machine learning. First, dependent on data quality. Biased data may cause unfair predictions. Second, it raises ethical concerns, such as student privacy, data security, and transparency in algorithm decisions. Overall, ML supports teachers by providing data-driven insights and personalizing learning. It doesn't replace teachers, but it helps them make better decisions. In education, this means creating opportunities for students who might otherwise fall behind and helping teachers make informed decisions. I hope for future improvements should focus on ensuring fairness, protecting data privacy, and developing user-friendly tools for educators. Thank you.
Oh, macam tu. Bolehlah aku try lah ChatGPT.
Saya Bariah.
Saya Puteri.
Saya Rahim.
Sekian, terima kasih daripada kumpulan 4.